wait. We gotta take a look. We gotta take a look. We gotta take a look. Oh my god. So apparently he's a bow user, but that doesn't look like a bow thing. That looks like a catalyst thing. So yeah, he's a catalyst, not a bow. Okay, I was lied to by the leaks. That's fine. He's clearly a catalyst. Okay, whatever. Elemental skill. Upon activation, Ifa gains 80 Night Soul points and enters Night Soul's Blessing. During this state, with the assistance of Kakuku, Ifa hovers and his normal attacks transform into support. Oh, fuck, he's a carry, chat. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's doomed. Oh, it's doomed. Oh, no. Okay, well, let's keep reading. Tap fires a medicinal bullet, dealing Animo Night Soul aligned damage and healing. Oh, no. Oh, what the fuck is this? Healing skills with Elemental Mastery. Hold. Continuously fires medicinal bullets, dealing damage and providing healing. While in Night Soul's Blessing, holding the skill causes Ifa to perform a plunge attack. So basically, his skill does pretty much exactly the same thing as Chaska without the like elemental infusion stuff. And he heals. Okay. Burst. Launches a therapeutic field sedative at enemies, which explodes upon impact, creating a binding wind field that pulls in nearby items and enemies, dealing AoE Animo Night Soul aligned damage. If it hits enemy affected with a swirlable element, it applies a calm mark that explodes after a short duration, dealing AoE damage of the corresponding element. Up to 4 enemies can have the calm mark, and they cannot be simultaneously affected by multiple elemental marks. Unless this has a really high damage multiplier, that doesn't look very interesting. Ascension 1. While in Night Soul Blessing, for every point of Night Soul of all party members, he gains a stack up to 150. Enhancing the swirl and elect. Oh my god, he actually is just Mizuki but good. That's completely fucked up. No, they can't do that. Good and... Okay, listen. Just the fact that he can do normal attacks makes him better than Mizuki. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Anyways. Each point of Rescue Essentials increases reaction damage by 1.2%. That's not all that good, actually. Like, that's only up to 180%, which isn't that much. But it's not bad either. Like, it's okay. When nearby party members triggers Night Soul Burst, Ifa gains 80 EM. What about his constellations? When supportive shooting, which is... What the fuck is a supportive shooting? Which is his enhanced normal attacks during his skill. So when he hits enemies in his skill, he regenerates energy. Basically 12 energy per rotation. Okay. C2, while in Night Soul's Blessing, for every point of the total Night Soul points of all party members above 60, Ifa gains an additional 3 points of Rescue Essentials, which is his Ascension passive that increases reaction damage. And the limit increases by 30. That seems kind of whatever. Okay. C3 increases level of skill. Okay, whatever. C4 extends the duration of the binding wind field created by Burst. After casting the skill, Ifa's EM increases by 100. Hard to say how good that is, but 100 EM is 100 EM. And then C6, when Ifa holds to perform supportive shooting, there's a 50% chance to fire an additional medicinal bullet, dealing 120% of the original damage. Additionally, outside of combat, the Night Soul points and phlogiston consumed during Night Soul's Blessing decreases by 20%. No way they're giving him an Exploration C6. That's kinda... I don't know about that one, but okay. I'm gonna be honest, this is disappointing. This is the first Natlon kid that I saw that I thought, oh my god, this is like actually disappointing. Like, he outright is just the same thing as Mizuki. He's an Animo Catalyst on-field focused swirl unit that has a bit of healing. Like, he's straight up a fucking one-to-one Mizuki. Probably better. No, people go, apparently he's Catalyst, the bow leak was fake. Like, most likely, he's gonna heal more than Yume Glorp, so he's gonna be better. But I don't know, it's just really disappointing seeing something like this. And he probably just always wants to be played with Auron. It's like Ifa, Auron, Farina, Flex. This is probably the most disappointing kit we've had. Well, when was the last time I was this disappointed by a kit outside of characters that were designed to be disappointing like Mizuki? Right, because Mizuki doesn't count because, like, she's a standard character. They released her intending for you to be disappointed with her. That's the purpose of standard characters, right? If a standard character is too interesting, you don't feel like you lost when you lose your 50-50, and they want you to feel like you lost. The last time a kid disappointed me this much, I guess Kachina? No, his kid is more disappointing than Kachina. I guess Sijuin. Man. Yeah, this is just not it. We kind of forgot that 4-stars were supposed to be bad. The problem isn't whether or not he's bad. We don't have his numbers yet. He could be the most broken unit in the game for all we know. They could decide to give him 3 more billion % EM on the damage he does with his fucking normal attacks and skill or whatever, right? Like, that's always a possibility. The problem isn't the balance, the problem is the design. Actually, now that I think about it, at least Sijuin was different from other characters. She was complete ass, but she was different from other characters. I think the last time I was this utterly disappointed by a kit design was Risley. And you guys know how much I fucking hate Risley's kit design. Wow, she's got the Raiden charge attack, not the Shengling charge attack. That's crazy. Alright, skill. Witness the true essence of cuisine. Depending on whether the skill is tapped or held, Escoffier showcases Fontaine's proud culinary arts in different ways. Tap activates the full spectrum multitasking culinary mechanism in low temperature refrigeration mode, dealing AoE cryo damage to the surrounding opponents. In this mode, the culinary mechanism follows the active character and periodically launches frost parfaits at nearby opponents, dealing cryo damage, and it does Uzia sometimes. Hold activates the full spectrum multitasking culinary mechanism in improvised cooking mode. The full spectrum multitasking culinary mechanism boasts excellent refrigeration capabilities, as well as maintaining the freshness of ingredients. Freshness of ingredients is the key to deliciousness. Okay, buddy. Elemental Burst demonstrates exquisite knife skills, dealing AoE cryo damage and restoring HP for all nearby party member based on Escoffier's attack power. So she is an attack scaling healer. Okay. The process of slicing ingredients is like before. Okay, who cares? So far, that's very Chi-Chi-esque. But let's keep going. Ascension Talent. After casting the Elemental Burst, Escoffier gains the Therapeutic Cuisine effect for 9 seconds. Periodically restores HP to the nearby active character with a healing amount based on 138.24% of Escoffier's attack power. So her healing is AoE healing followed by single target healing over time. Okay. When there are 1, 2, 3, 4 Hydro or Cryo characters in the party, after Escoffier's elemental skill or elemental burst hits opponents, it decreases those opponents' Hydro and Cryo resistance by 5, 10, 15, 55% for 12 seconds. This character's broken. What do you mean, 55? Yeah, so from what I've heard, apparently her skill actually does damage. Like, it's not actually a Chi-Chi thing. And if that's true, she's actually just really good. Yeah, Nevilet needed the buff, I think. I agree. Right, I did a calc yesterday, 2 days ago, I don't know. Where I was assuming you play double Cryo, double Hydro Nevilet with her, Citlali, and Farina. And that was when we thought it was 45. And it looked to be an incredibly minor downgrade in terms of damage, but that also had really good freeze-up time. If it's 55 instead, it's probably an upgrade in terms of damage, on top of the freeze-up time. And that's without accounting for her personal damage. So it's probably an actual real Nevilet buff. But it's only a Nevilet buff if you have Farina and Citlali, though. So I guess they're making Nevilet more Farina reliant. Farina, Effie, Yelan, and any Hydro or Cryo is now 80k DPS wheelchair? Yeah, it seems like it. Oh man. Oh man. What about her in freeze teams like Aika? It's probably gonna be pretty good too. She definitely seems like she's strong enough to justify replacing the Animo unit if you don't need the grouping. No Shiloden, no Kazuha anymore, true. Ian-san knocked Shiloden out of Maoika's best team, and Escoffier seems like she's knocking Chilonen out of Neuville's best teams. Did I say this was gonna happen, or did I say this was gonna happen, chat? Like, that's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying, okay? It's Chilover. Her cons seem to favor crowd damage? I don't know. Okay. C1. When all party members... Okay. When all party members are fulfill the restrictions, for 15 seconds after she uses skill or burst, all party members gain 60% cryo crit damage. So yeah, that's very cryo focused for sure. C2. When Escoffier activates the culinary mechanism... Okay, so when she uses her skill, her tap E, she gains an effect, during which she gains 5 stacks of cold prep, which gives... It's a quill. 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 It's literally just a quill. She gains 5 quills. But instead of 5 quills to each character, they're counted on her. So it's only 5 hits, I get it. But it's like more than double what a quill does. Right, a quill is like 93%, I think, at 10? Hey, no, 82, sorry. It's 82. So it's actually the equivalent of 3 quills. It's the equivalent of 15 Shenhe quills, pretty much. Then you got skill level, which is probably pretty decent, because supposedly her skill is her main source of damage. C4 extends the duration of what is therapeutic cuisine? Is that the burst? Well, yeah, it's the healing from the passive that happens after burst, so yeah, okay. During this period, when you heal, there's a chance for it to be doubled and for her to regenerate 2 energy, equivalent to her crit rate. This is awful. Unless her healing is dog shit, this is really bad. Because you don't really want to build that much crit on her for her C2. But even if you build her for damage, she's generally going to have cryo resonance, so you build a bit less crit rate. And then on top of that, the doubled healing doesn't really matter. So basically, this is a chance to get up to 14 energy. Ooh. Up to 14 energy. That's pretty much all this C4 does. This is one of the worst C4s we've ever had, for sure. It's not Shao C4 bad, but it's bad. C5 is bad, and C6 enhances the skill. When the current active character, excluding Escoffier, hits an opponent with a normal charge or plunge, you get a coordinated attack that deals 350% cryo. It's skill damage, and it can happen up to 6 times. So it's 2100 motion value. That can end up being additional application. That's kind of disappointing, actually. I mean, it's probably good, but it's kind of boring. Because, like, abilities that give you off-field application like that are kind of cool, but not on characters that are forced to be used in freeze teams. Like, that's kind of boring, you know? By the way, there's no requirement like Chevreuse where you actually have to trigger freeze or to have, or like Nilo where you actually have to have a Dendro character, right? So you could go for cryo. That's really interesting. So, what weapon can she use, Fav? Will it be Fav or will it be Fav? It'll be Fav. Now, other than that, I mean, the torch looks like it'll be pretty good. Torch should be pretty damn good, yeah. This one is also probably pretty solid, right? If you have refines on it, but it's kind of cope. Torch is probably not that much worse than R5 Mountain Bracing Bolt, and no one has R5 Mountain Bracing Bolt. I mean, Deathmatch will be fine, of course. Her Sig is broken. Medium base attack, crit damage substat. Attack increased by 12%. If a character equipped with this weapon is off field, attack increased by 12% again, so 24. When healed, equipped or healed. And by the way, I looked at this earlier. I'm pretty sure this is a translation issue. And that this is supposed to be when the character heals, not when healed. Because otherwise, equipped and healed character wouldn't make sense. Right? Because those would always be the same character if the trigger condition is when you get healed. So it's when the character heals. Equipped and healed characters gain 32% attack for 3 seconds. Yeah, that looks pretty good, actually. Jesus. Yeah, it's basically a TDDS that is also fucking 56% attack on a good 5-star stat line for the wearer. This actually is TDDS on crack. The trigger requirement is harder to fulfill, though, right? Like, this isn't something you can put on every polearm, it's only on healers. What other polearm healers even are there again? Yansan. Oh, wait. I didn't think about that. That's a Neonson Sig, that's a Chevy Sig. Oh, wait. That's actually kind of a big deal. Hog. I'm sorry to hear that, actually, though. We finally have a proper... Jolie C6, true! We finally have a proper weapon for... A proper support 5-star weapon for polearm characters. So for Wales, Fav Lance just took a massive dive at the stock market. He gives no energy. Yeah, but the thing is, you look at characters like Yeonsan. Yeonsan is on fucking Cinder City, and her ER coins are generally not that bad. So it's... The reason she's on Fav isn't because she needs the energy, it's because what else are you going to put on her that's going to beat 3 clear particles for the rest of your team? Right? Then Chevreuse, same thing, right? Mika might struggle with it, actually. Mika ER requirements might be too high for that weapon to be good on him. Yao Yao, kind of the same thing. Her ER requirements aren't too big of a problem. But also, her teams generally don't care as much about the attack, so it's kind of whatever. And that's pretty much it, yeah. Is she good for Ayaka and or other cryo DPSs, or is she just for Skirk? Right now, it looks like she's mainly good for Neuvillette. To me. Neuvillette more so than the cryo carries. When it comes to the cryo carries, the biggest problem is that the only cryo carry where there's a real reason to play them in freeze team nowadays is Ayaka. But freezable content tends to also be groupable content, which means that she's probably not going to perform better than a unit like Kazuha in practice. And she doesn't seem to be all that great if you only get 3 out of 4. The difference between 3 and 4 is massive. Is 55 res shred even good for Neuvillette if his other teammates probably end up being Shredder anyways? I mean, she's replacing those Shredder characters. If she's on the team, that means you're not using VV or Shilonen, right? You can use Citlali still. But as it turns out, 55 shred is a large number. Right, you put Shilonen on the team, she gets 36 shred and 40 damage percent. Escoffier doesn't have damage percent to give, but she actually has personal damage, probably enough to help you a lot more than Shilonen's damage percent. And then on top of that, if you want to play Citlali in your Neuvillette team, because Citlali is the most offensive-focused shielder that you can put in Neuvillette's teams, you already have Cinder City, so Shilonen is on Petra, but Petra's cringe as fuck. And so, in terms of Neuvillette's damage, she helps more than Shilonen does. In terms of Farina's damage, she helps more than Shilonen does. And in terms of her own personal damage, it actually exists, unlike Shilonen's. And her healing is AoE, so she front loads Fanfare Generation better than Shilonen as well. It's just too much, man. It just does too much, man. Neuvillette needs reactions to max the charge attack? No. As it turns out, from what I've looked at so far, I mean, we'll redo the math with the new numbers, okay? Base HP, HP percent, flat HP, total HP, damage percent, crit value, crit multiplier, resistance, resistance multiplier, damage. So, I guess EHP. I don't need damage, whatever. Let's take a look at Neuvillette real quick. I still have Polearm selected. Oopsie. 14,695. HP percent. We have 46.6. from the Sense. We have 25 from Resonance. Let's say another 25-ish from Substats. And then, what weapon should we look at for now? We can start with Proto Amber. Am I missing any sources of HP? I don't think so. Damage percent. So, and by the way, we're gonna start with Kazuha, Shilonen, Farina, and we're gonna compare it to Citlali, Escoffier, Farina. HP doesn't change across the two, right? 2 HP main stats. For now, we'll look at damage percent Goblet, but we can take a look at both. Anyways, 46.6. Let's say we average 28, I guess, from this passive. We have Cinder City, we have Kazuha, we have Farina, we have 2-piece Marie-José. Is there anything else? Am I missing anything, chat? Farina is like 40. A bit more than that. And if you had passive, I included it here. So I think that's it. Crit value, 98.4. Main stat, substats, charge attack passive. That's not damage percent. That's a motion value multiplier. So it's not calculated there. And I put the one you get from the passive that's up to 30%. Anyways, and then we have Marie-José. And that's it, right? Resistance. Resistance multiplier. I guess I should also have a... What is it? A4? A1. A1 multiplier. Here we have 2 elements, so it's 1.25. And that gives us total effective HP of HP times 1 plus damage percent times crit multiplier times resistance multiplier times A1 multiplier. Okay. Now, what changes here? Damage percent. We still have Cinder City on Citlali instead of Shilonen. But we don't have Kazuha anymore. And from the fact we actually have an AoE healer, Farina is probably closer to like 280 average instead of 230. Crit value, we get Cryo Resonance. Resistance multiplier, we now have 20 and 55. And A1 multiplier is now 1.1, which means we are doing about 12% less damage. However, you do not need to swap back to either Citlali or Escoffier to refresh their buffs. Which means your rotations will be faster. If your rotation, instead of the general 28 seconds you do, or 25 seconds instead, it's pretty much as good. Except you now have a shield, you have freeze, and you have Escoffier's damage! This is just Neviette's personal damage. So he's doing as much damage, Furina's doing as much damage, but now you have another character doing damage. We had sus early leaks that she does as much damage as Furina. If that's true, that's an additional 20 fucking 7k, about 25k more team DPS. So he's going to 120k. And then Furina's damage is also higher actually, because she doesn't have an Ascension passive that rewards triggering multiple reactions. Yeah, I don't know, man. It looks like they are ruining the balance of their game, man. Holy fuck. It's really going to shit, huh? So, info that her attacks are follow-ups? It says periodically, but maybe that's just wrong. I take a look at my enormous penis, and my troubles start melting away. I take a look at my enormous penis, and the happy times are coming to stay. I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants, and the feeling's like a sunshiny day. I take a look at my enormous penis, and everything is going my way.